Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart with Points. I'm Jack, and today I've got some genuinely surprising news from the world of business credit cards that I absolutely did not see coming. Capital on Tap, that plucky little business card that's been quietly building a cult following, has just added Virgin Points as a transfer partner. Yes, you heard that right. Virgin Points. Not just another Avios variant, but actual Virgin Points that open up Virgin Atlantic flights, Virgin Voyages cruises, and even stays at Necker Island if you're feeling fancy. So let's dive into what this means for your business spending, whether it's actually worth getting excited about, and when you might want to choose Virgin Points over Avios. First up, the transfer rates. This is where Capital on Tap Pro cardholders get a proper win. If you've got the Pro card, which costs £299 per year, you'll get a 1-to-1 transfer rate. That means every Capital on Tap point becomes one Virgin point. Nice and simple. For free cardholders, and yes, there is a free version with no annual fee, the rate is 10 Capital on Tap points to 8 Virgin points. So effectively, 0.8 Virgin points per Capital on Tap point. Not quite as generous, but still pretty competitive when you consider there's no annual fee on that card. What I really like here is that there's no minimum transfer requirement. You can move over just a handful of points if that's all you need. And transfers are usually instant, though Capital on Tap says they can take up to 48 hours in some cases. Linking your accounts is refreshingly straightforward. You just log into your Capital on Tap online portal, link either your Virgin Red account or your Virgin Atlantic Flying Club account, and you're ready to transfer whenever you want. If you don't have a Flying Club account yet and you want to book reward flights, you'll need to join, but it's completely free. Now, this Virgin Points partnership means Capital on Tap now has 3 airline transfer partners. You've got British Airways Avios through BA Executive Club, Qatar Airways Avios, which was added back in October of 2025, and now Virgin Points. For Pro card holders, all 3 offer that sweet 1-to-1 transfer rate. The free card has slightly different rates for each, but they're all competitive. So here's the big question. When should you actually choose Virgin Points over Avios? Because let's be honest, Avios is incredibly versatile with the whole One World Alliance network. Here's my take. Virgin Points can be brilliant for Virgin Atlantic's sweet spots. We're talking transatlantic flights here, particularly to destinations like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, where Virgin competes directly with British Airways. When Virgin runs their periodic points sales, you can sometimes find upper class redemptions for surprisingly reasonable points. And upper class on Virgin is genuinely lovely. But here's where Virgin Points really differentiate themselves. They unlock things that Avios simply cannot access. Virgin Voyages cruises, which have become incredibly popular. Stays at Virgin limited edition properties, including the famous Necker Island if you've got the points and the ambition, plus various Virgin Red rewards that exist completely outside the airline sphere. That said, I'll be completely transparent with you. For most UK travellers, Avios remains the more versatile option. The One World Alliance network is massive. British Airways flies everywhere. Qatar Airways opens up incredible long-haul redemptions. If you're primarily interested in short-haul European flights or long-haul destinations that Virgin Atlantic doesn't serve, Avios is still going to be your better bet. But that's the beauty of having options, right? You can assess your specific travel needs and transfer accordingly. Let's talk about earning for a moment. The beauty of Capital on Tap, and why I've been using it for years, is that it's specifically designed for small business spending. Whether you're paying for software subscriptions, office supplies, business travel, marketing costs, whatever it might be, every pound you spend earns points that can now become Virgin Points. Pro card holders earn 1 point per pound spent, which translates to 1 Virgin point per pound when transferred. That's actually equivalent to the earning rate on the dedicated Virgin Atlantic Reward Plus credit card, but without the annual fee if you opt for the free version of Capital on Tap. The free card obviously has a lower transfer rate, but for a no annual fee card, it's still pretty solid. Now, my personal take on all of this. I've been a Capital on Tap card holder for years. I actually have 2 cards because I run multiple businesses. This Virgin Points partnership adds genuine flexibility to the proposition. Typically, I transfer my points to British Airways Avios. I've got gold status with BA. I use the One World network frequently. It just makes sense for my travel patterns. But having Virgin Points as an option is genuinely valuable. There's a practical benefit here that I think is worth highlighting: diversification. If British Airways Avios availability is poor for a route you want to fly, or if you're being flexible with carriers, or if Virgin Atlantic happens to be running one of their point sales, you now have an alternative path to premium cabin redemptions. That flexibility is worth something. The fact that there's no minimum transfer requirement is particularly useful in practice. You can move points over as and when you actually need them, rather than having to accumulate a large balance first and commit everything in one go. One important thing to note though: once you transfer points to Virgin Points, the conversion cannot be reversed. This isn't like American Express, where you sometimes have options to move things around. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it's always worth checking award availability before you transfer, especially if you've got specific travel dates in mind. Tools like Rome.travel or Seats.aero can help you search for Virgin Atlantic award space before you commit your points. So, the bottom line: Capital on tap continues to punch well above its weight as a small business credit card for points collectors like us. With 3 airline transfer partners now available, British Airways Avios, Qatar Airways Avios, and Virgin Points, it's become a genuinely flexible option for funding your travel ambitions through everyday business spending. If you're not already a Capital on Tap card holder and you run a UK business or even a side hustle that qualifies, it's definitely worth considering. You can apply through the link in our show notes. The free card has no annual fee whatsoever, while the Pro card costs £299 per year but offers those enhanced earning rates and additional perks like a 1-to-1 transfer ratio across all 3 partners. For more options on earning Avios and other points from business spending, we've got comprehensive UK business credit card recommendations over on the website at smartwithpoints.co.uk. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this useful, please do subscribe to Smart with Points on all major podcast platforms, or head over to our website at smartwithpoints.co.uk, where you'll find loads more guides, tools, and resources for maximizing your points and miles. Before I let you go, here's a quick message about a tool that I genuinely use all the time. Looking for the best award flights? Use awardtravelfinder.com to search availability across Qatar Airways, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, and more. Try it for free with our link in the show notes. All right, everyone, happy earning, and I'll catch you in the next episode.